What could be so terrifying as to frighten a group of experienced divers? The answer might not please you much, especially if you are an ocean lover and enjoy visiting places and beaches. However, if you are willing to listen to this story and learn about the terrifying creature these divers encountered at the bottom of the waters, it's best to settle in and sharpen your senses, because we are about to dive into the heart of the ocean to find a creature that will never leave your nightmares. Hold your breath and get ready, because we start in 3, 2, 1. All oceans hide secrets and underwater cities that few human eyes have closely beheld. Those who dive professionally are among the few privileged ones who have managed to conquer impossible places, zones where civilization ends and the realm of nature begins. In these underwater places buried by rocks and water, some of the most fascinating species of our planet are found. However, it is not always possible to find interesting animals or beautiful creatures. On some occasions, divers who find themselves in the wrong location at the least opportune moment end up facing situations as terrifying as those reported by numerous divers on the coasts of Crimea, known as the Black Sea. This location offers invaluable attractions for those dedicated to professional diving. The depths are challenging, the marine rewards are abundant, and the ocean seems almost prehistoric, full of abundant flora and fauna that stimulate the senses. However, there is something that doesn't fit in this beautiful place. The strange appearances of unexpected monsters and the abundant paranormal activity that has frightened hundreds of divers. Some of the most recurring reports indicate that this fascinating sea can quickly turn into anyone's worst nightmare, especially if visited at night. Apparently, it is at night that all the things that can go wrong happen. And when it comes to paranormal activity, the moon's rise marks the arrival of terror. Hundreds of divers have shared their experiences on social media, and all seem to maintain a more or less common account. Under the moonlight, faceless specters emerge, malevolent entities that try to seduce the unsuspecting and cause them to lose their lives. Many recurring apparitions of ancient men and women who met their deaths in these mysterious waters have already been reported. Unfortunately, this is not the only thing that happens in the Black Sea. The specters are just the beginning of the nightmare. When the divers are not facing the paranormal world, they must face the world of the worst nightmares, as monstrous creatures seem to emerge from the ocean depths, paralyzing the heart and senses. One of the most terrifying can be found in the account of a diver who was near Cape Raya on the Crimean Peninsula. He had only moved 100 meters away from the coast. That was child's play for a veteran like him, but his decision to do it at night was not the wisest. That night, there was a full moon. This was in August of 1991. The diver hadn't noticed anything strange despite being alone, something that is not recommended in diving practice. However, he was determined to take one last dive before returning home to Italy. His decision was firm, but he would soon regret it. In the middle of the journey, the man felt someone tap him on the shoulder. When he turned around, completely surprised, he found that there was no one there, just the sea and the night. The waves swayed gently around him, and there was nothing that seemed out of place. That was really strange and mysterious. Had he imagined that? Did that slap really happen? He decided to believe in that hypothesis and continued swimming, but 3 minutes later, he felt an even stronger blow. This time, when he turned around, he found something that froze his blood. In front of him was the face of a young woman with wet hair falling over her face. Her features were hidden in her hair, but her empty, dark eyes, similar to those of a demon, and her mouth drawn in a terrifying smile with sharp, thick teeth, were clearly visible. The man used all the strength he had and fled immediately, swimming with all his speed, seeing the shore getting farther away. Despite swimming and swimming without stopping, fear rose through his body. That strange apparition could appear at any moment, and he did not want to be in the sea when that happened. However, to his utter misfortune, his ears caught the sound of someone following him. He could not escape. The woman was right behind him, watching from a distance, and would soon catch up to him. The diver's body could no longer withstand the pressure. The exhaustion was making him slow and heavy, but fortunately, the diver felt the sand under his feet. He had reached the beach. From that point, he ran and ran until he threw himself onto the sand, looking at the sky, thanking all the gods for having protected him. Woodadila, when he stood up on the sand, he could see the woman still watching him from a distance. Before leaving, she let out a terrifying laugh that the diver would never be able to forget. Like this account, there are dozens of others. They are so varied that anyone could compile them. The experiences of these divers go beyond reason and logic. The encounters are so vivid and full of details that it's hard to ignore them. The most interesting thing is that these are not stories from decades past, but events that continue to be recorded every year by different people who had no idea that the Black Sea hid so many secrets until they encountered the presence of ghosts, a frightening voice or a monstrous creature that made them flee quickly. Not everyone manages to escape, of course. Deaths in this place are not abundant, but they are mysterious and almost inexplicable. The divers who lose their lives in these waters are involved in unsettling events that seem to have a single answer, although no one is willing to say it out loud. But they are not the only ones. Everyone who visits the oceans regularly has at least 1 or 2 stories they prefer to keep secret due to how frightening they sound and the skepticism they provoke. However, their experiences can reveal the true face of the depths, the place where we rarely manage to reach and where fascinating creatures continue to hide. If you join us on a new opportunity, you can also get to know them and continue to delve into the unsettling world of the ocean depths. What do you think? Are you willing to follow us? If so, get ready to uncover the secrets of the world that hides where you least expect it.